Welcome to Are You Smarter Than a Travel Agent? Today's edition is about Orbitz. Hello and welcome to Are You Smarter Than a Travel Agent? Today's topic is, does Orbitz make you smarter than a travel agent? When you land on the Orbitz home page, in order to do a flight search, you actually have to click on flight because they wisely default to hotel, which is where they make their money. We are going to use the same itinerary we've been using all week, Tampa to London's Gatwick Airport on July 8th, returning on the 10th. We're going to accept all the defaults, so flights anytime, returning anytime, one traveler, and we are not going to select non-stops. You will notice that Orbitz does have a price reassurance policy. I'm sure you've seen their commercials where they actually send you a cash refund automatically if someone books the same exact flight at a lower rate. This is a pretty safe bet for Orbitz since they are not extending this out beyond their own site because they are well aware that airfares increase as you get closer to departure time as opposed to decreasing. What you see here is the classic Orbitz matrix display, which they designed and developed and actually branded back in the early 2000 timeframe. The unique thing about their matrix display versus the grid-like display that we saw yesterday on Expedia is that they make use of the entire screen's real estate so that you can see all of the flights in comparison with one another. So you can see that you can elect to pay anything from $1,097 all the way up to $6,651 for a flight to London. What I will tell you is that you're seeing two prices in each grid sector, and you are seeing the base fare plus the taxes and service fees, which is the actual price that you will pay. Now, Orbitz may believe that this gives the illusion that they have lower prices, but at the end of the day, what you're paying is the price in blue, not the price in black. Orbitz does not charge a service fee for their flights except for on multi-carrier itineraries. So while the multi-carrier itinerary may look to be one of the cheapest options, you want to make sure to also add in the booking fee for each of those flights. Some of the other differences from the other online sites in the Orbitz flight display is that they group their flights in the logical flight groupings and again are defaulting to the lowest price. If you want to separate the flights out, you over in the blue bar select choose this departure. On Expedia you'll notice that they had that as an actual separate tab where you could build your own flights. They also sort by departure time but not arrival time, so if you need to arrive in London by a certain time, if you need to check the arrival time, you would have had to specify that in your search display over in the left hand side. So instead of depart at a certain time, you would want to do arrive at a certain time. Also, they show the shortest flights, and again that will typically show the non-stops first, which in this case is 8 hours and 20 minutes, and it goes all the way up to something around 20 hours for the two-stop flights. So at this juncture, are we smarter than a travel agent by using Orbitz? Travel agents have a base of knowledge that's difficult to bake into any online site, so these comments aren't unique to Orbitz. As an example, if you don't understand code share, you would not know that the British Airways nonstop, the American Airlines nonstop, and the Iberia are exactly the same plane, but range in price from $1,374 to $1,657. And if you don't know anything about Continental's schedule or the local airports in London, you would immediately discard the two-stop $6,651 flight, not knowing that Continental has a one-stop through both DC and Newark to Heathrow for just $791. Even if you had asked for Gatwick Airport, a travel agent would automatically offer you Heathrow as an alternative and would explain the location and convenience of each. Orbitz can do the same thing, but you would have to first select Include Nearby Airports as an option, which is not available on the initial search screen, but is on the advanced screen and the subsequent results screen. Also, as mentioned yesterday, a travel agent can force a connection through a certain city. If you try to find a connection to London through Cleveland on Orbitz, You have to do an advanced search with Continental as the preferred carrier, but instead of showing a logical connection through Cleveland, they actually win the prize for the most ridiculous itinerary, taking you from Tampa, Cleveland, to Washington, D.C., back to Orlando, and then to Heathrow. At the end of the day, you'll have to make up your own mind of whether online travel is better for you than a travel agent. A rule of thumb is if you require a lot of information and assistance but don't have a lot of time, a travel agent is a good bet. But on airline tickets alone, you're going to have to be willing to pay a service fee. Some travel agents will waive that fee if you also book a hotel or a car or cruise or whatever other component of travel is still commissionable. And if you are wanting to do your planning at midnight on a Saturday night, online travel is probably the best place for you. The online sites are incredibly robust, and the more knowledgeable you are, the better your results will be. Thank you for joining us on Are You Smarter Than a Travel Agent? For more information about Solutionz, you can see our blog with the commentary on the state of the travel distribution ecosystem at www.distribution-solutionz.blogspot.com. Thank you.